welcome to day 16 of Vlogmas. So today's handmade garment is the Zadie Dress by Tilly and the Buttons. And it is a jersey dress, so it's really comfy. It has the biggest pockets. This is the second version of the Zadie dress I've shown you, but this was the first one I made. This one is a 3/4 length sleeve. The other version I did was a shorter sleeve, and the fabric that I used for this one is like a ponte roma or a double knit fabric, so it's a little bit thicker. What I actually did is I used the reverse of the fabric to do the arms and the main side of the fabric for the front panels, so that there's a bit of a contrast, and you can see there's some contrast on the side panels as well. I'm really pleased with this one. I've worn it so much, and it's very cosy, and it kind of looks quite smart as well, seeing as it's a dress. Definitely going to have a few more of these in the wardrobe, and like I said, I've got one cut out ready to make, which is in a floral fabric, which I'm excited to get working on. But I've got quite a few Christmassy things I want to do first, so I can show them to you in Vlogmas. So I just have a couple of announcements before I sort of start the day. I've made some changes to the Cupid's Arrow Advent wrap pattern, just for people who are having difficulty getting all the repeats out of 10-gram minis. I know that if you've got a looser tension, or you're using a slightly thicker 4-ply yarn, you might not get all those repeats out, and also have enough of the tassels as well. So I've made a little bit of changes to the number of repeats that are required for the 10-gram minis, but also I've added some notes there to help you sort of gauge how many repeats you can do. And also I've made up a playlist on Spotify for all the songs that I've been putting on the videos during Vlogmas, because a few people have said that they liked the sound of the music. So I've created a playlist on Spotify. I will leave a link in the description bar down below. If you want to access the description bar, I think some people can't see it very well. It's basically a little arrow to the bottom right of the screen, and you can just click on that and it'll drop down, and there'll be all the information that you need from that video. So I hope you enjoy listening to the playlist and the song that I've put on the video today. So now it's time to show you my socks. So I've been busy doing some sewing this morning, but I thought I'd show you how I clean my bobbin case, because it's really important to keep it nice and clean so that it doesn't fluff up, and just it won't work properly if you've got a lot of fluff in there anyway. I'll see if I can zoom you in. So I've taken the bobbin out, and I have a little place inside my machine where I keep a screwdriver. And I just lift the stitch plate, and I lift this little bit out here, and the bobbin case as well, and I just get my little brush and get all the fluff out. It's so important to keep it nice and clean. Oh, there's a big bit there, big bits of fluff. Normally I do this with the hoover on as well, so it sucks it all up rather than getting pushed into other areas in the machine. I can move my cutting blade out and just carefully clean behind it as well. You can see there's a little bit of fluff left behind there as well. And mind you, don't cut yourself on the cutting blade. It cuts the thread. Clean all the feed dogs, and then what I do is I So I turn the handle at the side of the machine so that the actual place where the bobbin fits turns around inside, and then I can stick my little brush in to different places inside the machine, so that in case there's little bits of fluff stuck there. I think that's pretty clean. And I give the bobbin case a brush off as well. Pop that back in. Sometimes I give it a bit of an oil actually. Doesn't need it now, but I just normally put a tiny bit of oil on my finger and then spread it on the bottom of the bobbin case and pop those pieces back together. Snap my stitch plate back in place and I'm ready to go. Put my bobbin back. That's how mine threads, and then I've got a little cover that goes over the top and I can break the thread. And I'm ready to sew again. So my socks have been soaking in wool wash, and it's the leave-in wool wash, so I'm just going to pop those into the spinner, squeeze them out and pop them into the spinner. Put the little lid. Two pairs of Bryson sock blockers, and I got these from Loop in London, but people tell me that they've actually run out of stock at Loop, so I don't really know when they're going to get them in again. I could do with another pair of these, because I always seem to want to block more than 2 socks at a time. I don't always block socks, because you don't actually need to block socks all the time, but when I've knitted a couple of pairs, when they're nice and fresh, I block them on these, and then if you're giving them as gifts, they look quite nice. But absolutely you don't have to block socks. I'm going to use my small pair, well I say small, these are medium-sized Bryson sock blockers to put these. These are the Herbstblatter socks, and it's a lovely pattern by Christine, who's from Sweet Lavender knits. And I haven't blocked these, I've had these finished for ages and they're only just being blocked. But I think that they'll look really nice when they're blocked because they're a nice lace pattern. So that they're relatively even. That's those. I'm going to hang them on the radiator to dry. And these are my Mistletoe Kisses sock pattern that I released at the end of November, and they're knitted in Santa Baby, and I've only just got around to blocking these as well. 2 pairs of socks blocking. So my goal this evening is to finish this second sock. I'm going to go as quick as I can, like the wind.
Come on, quicker.
I'm going as quick as I can.
2016?
Yeah. That was a bit like the introduction. What's that Space Odyssey thing? Hello.
I don't know.
The computer when he talks to
Hal.
him. Yeah. How does he
We
go?
have a Milky Way, a galaxy, and a Mars.
Woo! So how does Hal go?
Hello, Dave.
That's not a very good impression, is it? Let's do your advent.
Yeah. What day is it?
Is it the 16th?
Oh, it's 16.
We're right in the bottom there, look.
Where? Oh, we've got to move things. Quick.
We're right on a present. I've chopped your head off, Adam. They can't see you. What's that?
It's a tree.
What more Christmas trees?
Move those back. It's getting awfully busy now, isn't it?
We've just got some, well, they look like Christmas trees, but they don't have stars on the top of these ones. Number 16. It looks a little bit like a rabbit, but it looks a bit of a strange rabbit. Ooh, Twix and a lint. I'm afraid I've failed. I didn't manage to finish this sock, but I've done quite a bit of the foot. I did put the tassels on the Midsummer Haze cowl, which I'll be showing in this week's podcast, and I have another pair of socks to show in this week's podcast as well, which you haven't seen at all before.